I thought this chapter worked as a great one to illustrate just some of the great moves that Kakashi has available to him, and he's not even really trying. Naruto number 6, not Sasuke.
Man, I tell you, I like this Kakashi, boy. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another tale on the awesome and illusion-filled, awe-inspiring tale of Naruto. Our last chapter, of course, saw us with Naruto, trying to, of course, attack and get one of those bells from Kakashi. And really the chapter ended with him using the Shadow Clone Jutsu, and I appreciate everybody correcting me on that. It is going to take me a while to figure out what's the most commonly used words for things as opposed to what's actually in the translation of it, because, Art of the Doppelganger did sound kind of lame to me. But anyway, I was told through several messages and comments that just to call it Shadow Clone Jutsu. So anyway, it's really kind of cool because things ended off where Naruto, had snuck around using his clones and had snuck around behind Kakashi and looked like he got the jump on him. But then at the end of it, it was just another Naruto, and we were like, whoa, hold on a second, what happened? Somebody pulled an okie doke here. So that's how the chapter left off. That's right where things pick up over here, and it's kind of cool because you see Naruto slowly like picking up on it, like, son of a bitch, he must have switched out and this and that, and they explain that that's basically that's one of the first things that you do in battle. It's the third tenet in the scrolls and this and that. Sasuke sitting there watching from a distance and kind of explains in his inner monologue that basically being able to to switch yourself out or to remain hidden, to be able to more or less to use the art of illusion to make your enemy think that you're actually where you're not, and they explain, at what points in battle you can use it and how it's most commonly used. And it was actually really neat because they showed how he went, and as Naruto went and pulled his doppelgangers out, he actually went and switched places with one of the doppelgangers and made one of them into him, and it was just really cool how the whole thing was portrayed and explained in the pages and everything. I thought, wow, this is really great. So Naruto goes and as he's kind of arguing with himself, his other doppelgangers, he winds up going and saying, well, I'll just drop them all, and then it'll just be me and Kakashi, right? Well, Kakashi has already disappeared, of course, so when he does that, he's just kind of standing there by himself, and it's like Naruto shed a few tears, and he's upset, and it's funny because Sasuke and Sakura still are remaining hidden, and, kind of waiting for their opportune time to strike, I guess. So Naruto then goes and he walks over and he sees one of the bells laying, and he's like, oh, yeah, he must have gotten so flustered, Master Kakashi, thinking like it was a big deal for him to do what he did, that he must have dropped one of these bells. So he goes over and goes to pick it up, and I'm thinking, oh no, man, it's a trap, So sure enough, he gets, he winds up stepping into a trap. A rope grabs around his ankle and flips him upside down. Next thing you know, Kakashi, comes out. And he explained, he says, oh, basically it was pretty stupid that you fell for that, And he says, you got to look for the meanings within the meanings, or the meanings behind the meanings. And Naruto says, oh, I know. And he says, no, you don't. That's why I'm saying it to you. Like listen up, kid. I'm trying to explain some shit to you. So then Sasuke's over there crouched in the bushes, man, like a peeping Tom. And he's just like, all right, he's like, this is my opportunity, this is my time, right? So he goes and just flings a bunch of shuriken and the knives, the kunai, at Kakashi, and they're just, and a bunch of them pelt him, right? And you can just see, like, he's all bloodied and just looks like not good, right? And Naruto's hanging down, he's like, whoa, overkill, Sasuke, right? You flip the next page, and it's a freaking log. It's just a piece of wood that was there. So he used the art of illusion again on them, and actually projected himself, into this piece of wood. I'm assuming somehow or another was able to, to use obviously the smoke and mirrors, the different tactics of ninjutsu, which I think is really cool, and certainly is something that's exciting to me, being a newcomer to the series. So I thought that was kind of cool, just pulling the okie doke on him, and it's almost like a magician, smoke and mirrors, man. And so now Sasuke, of course, is like, oh shit, now I gave away my position, right? And anyway, he winds up going and pulling some other mind mind-fucking type techniques. Basically, I don't know what else to call them. And actually, it's called Genjutsu, and that's the art of illusion and stuff like that. I believe that he says. I'd have to look just to double check, but I know that was mentioned as one of the other arts. And what you do is you're more or less, he's using illusions. He's using hallucinations. He made Sakura think that he was there, and then he wasn't, to be able to pull a surprise on her. And then then he goes and does this thing, and Naruto goes back to him, and he cuts himself down from it. And he's like, I'm not gonna fall in another one of those again. And he's gonna dust himself off, and sure as shit, goes right back up in another one. And he's like, he put another one right in the same spot underneath the first one. The meaning within the meaning, right? And I just thought it was really cool. So Naruto's back up in there, and and Sakura winds up getting lured out, by Kakashi, because she sees her love Sasuke, come out of the bushes. He's like, help me, and he looks like he's got like a throwing star and a kunai sticking out of him. He's bloodied, right? His lips all bloody, and she goes towards him, and then the next thing you know, you just hear he's like, ah! You just see like a scream, and you're thinking, okay, she got nailed. So Sasuke, the chapter winds up ending shortly after that. Sasuke goes and he's talking to himself, and he's like, and that's when he goes and he pulls out the thing, and he talks about the Genjutsu over here, which I thought was kind of cool. Here, we'll see if I can pull to it. All right, quickly over here. I do not think I can. But he winds up explaining towards the end about the art of it and what is actually used. He's like, maybe they should got Sakura. Here we go. He's been using the art of illusion, employing hypnotism to create hallucinations and others. So the hallucination part I got right, but employing hypnotism. So, and if that was Sakura, it's possible he may have beaten her. But, and then I love at the end of it, he's just like, yeah, he's like, I'm not like them, And then I love this because all of a sudden Kakashi's just chilling up against the tree, and the chapter ends with him going, yeah, save your boast until you've got a bell, Sasuke. So I thought that was kind of cool. And listen, too, the other thing that I want to point out is that my impressions of characters and things like that is coming from a newcomer to the series. So some of you that may love a certain character, some of these characters are being introduced, right? I don't even know, unless I see it in the comments, well, I like him now, even after 600 chapters or whatever. I don't know if these characters are mainstays, if they get killed off at some point, if they're around for a couple hundred chapters and then we don't ever see them again. So a lot of these characters, when I give a thought on them, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion based on the small body of work that I have read, in this half a dozen chapters. I do not read ahead. I do not cheat in that fashion in any way, shape, or form. I don't look things up online, and half the time I can't really look at the comments because, if I see something that's starting about this was good, but I just stop reading the comment because I know the but is going to be like, until the so-and-so arc or until this chapter. So just letting everybody know that I certainly appreciate all the help that comes with the pronunciations and the proper ways to say things, because I am kind of a newbie to the series. But ultimately, a lot of my impressions of these different characters, number one, they're my impressions. So, it's fine. You can't tell me what my mind's going to be made up to be. But the other thing, too, is that I always have an open mind to things. My initial impression of Sasuke as being this dark, brooding character, that's my initial impression. Now, once I go and I find out what his tragic past was or what it was that brought him to that, I probably will understand better. And if I do, I do. And if I don't, I don't. But my point is that my opinion will kind of, change and fluctuate based on, as the story progresses and unfolds. So I thank all of you for, of course, following along, watching, commenting. All those things are great. And really my chapter question here is, what are your thoughts, not on Kakashi himself, but on some of the moves and tactics that he's employing? Because there's one point in the chapter where he even says, he's like, too much, and he's sitting up in a tree reading his book. And it's almost like he's being very hard on these young students. Do you think that he's kind of using some underhanded tactics that don't really need to be pulled out in day one of their training? Or do you think that it's like, hey, tough love, man, you guys are going to have some big, he sees a lot of potential in him and he sees some big things to come, and maybe that's maybe that's just his style, So I guess my chapter question again is, what do you think about Kakashi and the tactics that he has been employing to, pretty much just, up until this point, just make everybody look foolish, Naruto especially. Leave your answer to that in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation.
If you'd like to see more of my drawings, just go on over to my Facebook or Instagram page.